Penguin Random House Audio presents Murderland, Crime and Bloodlust in the Time of Serial Killers by Caroline Fraser. Read for you by Patty Nieman. For Island Friends, Jeff Dryblatt, Sue Warner Bean, Cheryl Verlaine Whitney. Here comes a candle to light you to bed, and here comes a chopper to chop off your head. Traditional. Introduction. Crime scenes of the Pacific Northwest, or the Crazy Wall. The Pacific Northwest is known for 5 things: lumber, aircraft, tech, coffee, and crime. Weyerhaeuser, Boeing, Microsoft, Starbucks, and serial killers. Every decade, the headlines: why are there so many serial killers in the Northwest? There is no answer. There are just numbers. Per capita, Alaska is number 1 in the country, Washington 5, Oregon 6. America's killing fields, it has been called, the home of the stranger, the lone wolf, the neighbor who's a little too quiet. For some, it's a hobby. For others, a career. They have their own brands, but they're all different. The want-ad killer, the boxcar killer, the lust killer, the phantom sniper, the hillside strangler, the Lewiston Valley killer, the I-5 killer, the coin shop killer, the dismemberment murders, the index killer, the happy face killer, the East Side killer, the werewolf butcher of Spokane, the beast of British Columbia, the Green River killer. Weirdly, many of them are born in the same period, shortly before, during, or after World War II. Amateur cartographer, I draw lines, making maps tied to timelines, maps of rural roads and kill sites and body dumps. Some of the maps are in my mind. I always consider the location of the scene of the crime. In a chaotic world, maps make sense. There are people who have gurus or crystals or graven images. I have maps. They tell a story. They make connections. Here is one of my maps. It's August of 1961. I'm 7 months old. There are 3 males who live in what you might call the neighborhood, within a circle whose center is Tacoma. Their names are Charles Manson, Ted Bundy, and Gary Ridgway. What are the odds? In 1961, Manson is 26, serving a 10-year sentence in the federal prison on McNeil Island for forging a United States Treasury check. McNeil Island lies in Puget Sound, off the city of Tacoma. Across the Sound, 8 miles from Manson, Ted Bundy is 14, living at 658 North Skyline Drive, next to the approach to the Tacoma Narrows Bridge. Gary Ridgway is 12, residing north of Tacoma at 4404 South 175th Street, near SeaTac Airport, an address then considered to be in Seattle. 8 years later, on August 9, 1969, Manson, gathering his followers, will urge them to murder everyone at 10050 Cielo Drive in Benedict Canyon on a night that will become a byword for inconceivable and random violence. The following night, they will kill Rosemary and Lino LaBianca. Sometime in the 1970s or early 1980s, Gary Ridgway will begin killing women he picks up near the airport, blocks from where he grew up. He strangles prostitutes, runaways, and teenage girls, dozens of them. At first, he dumps their bodies in rivers, their hair rippling in the stream flow. Until 2001, when he's apprehended, he will be known to the public only as the Green River Killer. But in the early morning hours of August 31st, 1961, the one who gets the ball rolling, the prodigy, the polymath, the boy wonder, is Ted Bundy. That night, rain lashes the windows, and I'm a baby in a basket, teething, seething, rubbing my hair off on a fuzzy yellow blanket. That night, during a thunderstorm, in a neighborhood he knows only too well, Ted Bundy climbs through the living room window of a family named Burr. He used to live right around the corner. He has friends who know the Burrs. He finds Anne-Marie, who is 8, wearing a blue and white flowered nightie, 2 religious medals, and a bracelet invoking the protection of St. Christopher. Pied Piper of Tacoma, he spirits her out the front door. She is never seen again. Now let's look at the map. If you take a ruler and lay it down in 1961 and connect the dots between Charles Manson, Ted Bundy, and Gary Ridgway, you can practically draw a straight line. Is it chance? Is there a connection? Well, that's the question. Here's another map. They call it the owl, the Olympic Wallowa lineament. Nobody knows what it is. It belongs to the geologists, and it could be either an optical illusion, or a topographic feature of unknown origin, or a zone of crustal weakness. Fault line or will-o'-the-wisp, take your pick. If you're an earth scientist, the owl suggests how the planet's rigid plates drift over the mantle. We live on top of rubble, not a solid foundation. If you're someone alert to the hazards beneath your feet, the owl conveys the nature of the place, hinting that what lies beneath is dishonest, deceptive, given to the false front. The earth here looks safe, but it isn't. It has been hoodwinking people for thousands of years, for all of its conceivable life. The ground is unstable, volcanic, prone to sudden, startling fits of temper, to epic floods and rivers of fire, earthquakes and tsunamis, the theater of conspicuous collapse. Think of what the place has been through, burning, then freezing. Consider its proclivities, abusive and abused. Moisture seeps from every moss pore and lichen crevice. It has survived unspeakable pressures, once compressed by ice thousands of feet deep, sheets creeping across the surface, cresting in glacial slow motion every few thousand years, and then falling back, drop by freezing drop. This is not terra firma. The longer we look, the more we see how it's broken, and where it will break again. For the moment, the owl is a cryptic line on a map, the faintest depression or fissure stretching for 400 miles, slanting from northwest to southeast. Note, however, how it cuts across the landscape. See where it goes. It carves through America's killing fields, sites favored by murder's most devout practitioners. It falls along the future route of Interstate 90, expressway to hell. Earthquakes are murderers, invisible until they strike. The owl is Washington's shadow San Andreas, lying beneath bridges and tunnels, waiting to toss them like pickup sticks. It intersects the seismically active Devil's Mountain Fault. If Devil's Mountain ruptures, it could cause a magnitude 7.5 event. Cry havoc. The owl stretches from Cape Flattery, the far northwest tip of Washington state, and skims across fathomless Lake Crescent, Elliott Bay, Seattle, the north shore of Mercer Island. Lake Sammamish, Issaquah. Remember these names, for we will see them again. From Issaquah, it cuts through Stampede Pass and down the Wallula Gap on the Columbia River, through the Horse Heaven Hills and the South Fork of the Walla Walla, flying past Clay Elum and Ellensburg, a route wreathed in bodies. It looks intentional. It's first mapped by Erwin Rice in 1945. Born in Hungary in 1893, Rice practically invents geographical cartography at a time when the field is only beginning to emerge from the days when men with feather pens drew outlines of continents freehand, seeding the oceans with compass roses and sea monsters rampant. He attends Budapest's Royal Joseph Polytechnic University, earning a degree in civil engineering and architecture. After
Sample complete. Ready to continue?